This is the Defenders podcast on TV Podcast Industries. We're back once again for the final time with our Wonder Man wrap-up and pub quiz results.
It's a wonderful thing. Not thinking too much. Served me well most of my life.
I'm not sure I'd do it again.
Why not? John Gielgud used to have me whipping with the belt across his bare arse every night before curtain up, and that was before we were friends. Then things got weird.
Hayashi neat and a Virgin Mary with extra horseradish.
13 years sober.
Congrats.
Thank you.
Welcome back, fellow Defenders, to TV Podcast Industries for our wrap-up of Wonder Man and our pub quiz results. I am one of your hosts, Derek.
Hello there, fellow Defenders. I am one of your other hosts, John.
And rounding out this wonderful trio, I am Chris.
Welcome back, everybody. We've been off for a few weeks
Absolutely.
after Wonder Man. Give a bit of time for our wonderful fellow Defenders to get all the answers in for our pub quiz questions.
Indeed.
And I'm laughing. We had to delay this a little bit extra, a couple of days extra, longer than we thought we were going to, and we got an entry in yesterday as we record. So I think no matter how long we leave open the pub quiz, we do eventually get somebody that sends it in a little bit late. So I'm really glad everybody's got their answers in, and I'm so excited that so many people have put in their entries for the pub quiz. So,
Good stuff, fellow
everybody's really enjoyed
Defenders.
it. Yeah, well done, everybody.
Yes, good stuff. And don't forget, we will have other potential quizzes coming up in our upcoming shows when we cover Invincible on Prime Video, when we cover Daredevil on Disney Plus, and when we cover the finale, the final season, the ending, the epitome of Eric Kripke and all his goodness. The Boys.
Yes, the final episode of Supernatural.
Yeah. Did you guys see the final trailer for The Boys? This
Yes.
week?
Yes.
Yeah, so we have official confirmation that we're going to have a scene with the three major stars of Supernatural. Jared Padalecki and Misha Collins are both going to appear in the final season of The Boys. And I have a sneaking suspicion that they're going to do something special, a little Easter egg for Supernatural fans.
I would say so.
I feel like they're
Let's
going to
hope.
make Misha and Jared a couple. And we'll have Soldier Boy coming in and breaking them up and killing one of them. I think that's the scene that I feel like I've seen in the clips that were in there, which I think would be
dreams.
a lot of fun. But I'm not sure. I think half the Supernatural fandom would be absolutely terrified of that, and half of them would find it very funny.
Absolutely.
So they're going to 100% do it.
I think they might.
That's 100. So you're basically, how can we annoy, scare, and impress the whole fandom? Let's do it.
Yeah, just do it.
Yeah.
Just do it. Because I guess there was, for those of you that didn't watch Supernatural, there was shipping going on between the characters of Dean and Castiel.
Yes.
And Dean is the one that plays the character of Soldier Boy in The Boys. So to make the other brother in a couple with Castiel would be hilarious, I think.
Yes.
There you go. That's my fun prediction for The Boys. But yes, we got loads of other shows coming up over the next month. We have had our break now, and we will be back with lots more podcasts. So Invincible coming out in just a couple of weeks' time. That's the first one that will be coming up. Daredevil Born Again Season 2, a new trailer for that just dropped as well this week, showing another glimpse of our wonderful Jessica Jones returning into the universe.
My namesake.
Exactly.
I'm so happy.
Yeah, Chris Jessica Jones, just in case you didn't know his middle
Yeah.
name.
Yes.
Yes. And he leaps.
Yes.
I do. I leap.
Chris leaps. He
I don't
doesn't
fly.
exactly.
Just, I leap in a particular way.
Yes. But we are here for one major reason, which is to do our wrap-up for our Wonder Man pub quiz. So I think, without further ado, let's get into our questions from the episodes of Wonder Man.
Yes, absolutely. Fellow quizzers, fellow defenders, well done to all of you who got in your answers. We'll run through the episode questions, starting off with, of course, numero uno. Our matinee question: what book does Simon want to bring into his scene in American Horror Story? The answer to that was Aztec, Thought and Culture by Miguel León-Portilla, an actual book.
Yes. I thought it was a funny one to use as our question because he's quoting bits of the book in the scene as to why he's choosing that specific book for his 10 seconds of screen time in American Horror Story. Great scene.
Absolutely.
Yeah. On to episode 2, on our second episode. The episode called Self-Tape. The question was, how old was Trevor when the acting bug first hit? And he was 10 years old. We actually hear that throughout the episodes, and he, I think, originally mentioned it back in Iron Man 3 as well. So we are aware of how long the acting bug has been there for.
A wee little nipper.
Exactly. Exactly.
On episode 3, titled Pacoima, the question was, what famous American actor billboard's picture does Trevor and Simon pass in the car as they travel to Simon's mum's birthday in Pacoima? The actor is Danny Trejo. It's actually a real mural in Pacoima.
Yes.
Which is an interesting one. So yeah, they filmed on site there.
They did. And thanks very much to our wonderful listener who pointed that out and used the word mural because we wrote that question together, John, if you remember, and we couldn't work out whether it was a billboard, a picture, a poster.
Exactly.
We were trying to work out just to direct listeners to the scene. But yeah, mural is the
or
right
like
word.
graffiti art,
Exactly.
all that kind of stuff.
Exactly.
I guess mural.
That's the right word.
Or graffiti art, yes. Excellent stuff. On to episode 4, which was titled Dorman, the black and white episode. What song is the J-Gad singing in the club just before it goes on fire? It is, of course, In Summer from Frozen.
Yes. I think that's the big song from the series. Everybody's loved that version of In Summer from Frozen. I think it's probably being played all across ski resorts in Europe.
Yes. And the J-Gad.
And the J-Gad, of course, who's still missing.
Yes,
Yes. Still missing somewhere in the void.
Yeah, on the excellent episode 5, the shortest but best episode, I think, of the season, or one of the best episodes of the season, episode 5 was found footage. The question for that one was, when Trevor has one of Esteban's candies, he says it's like when Stevie Nicks had Coke blowing up her bunghole. But what sweet, spicy and sour candy treat does Esteban give Trevor? It was the Chamoy featuring. I'm glad I got to say that one.
Yes, and that's how you get such words into a PG podcast.
Exactly.
It's actually a question.
Yes, bunghole.
Now, enough about those rings. Let's move on to episode 6, episode Callback. The question was, what is the name of the character that Richard still has nightmares about after playing the role in The Lieutenant of Inishmore? The answer is Pork. And for those who are interested, that is spelt Padraig.
Yes, it is.
Yes.
Not the way it was spelt or pronounced in the show.
Exactly.
Yes.
Yes, I have a big problem with it. So the reason why this question is in there is because Richard is commenting on the fact that he has nightmares playing the role of Padraig. I think he pronounced it, which is incorrect pronunciation. If he had played the role in the stage play of The Lieutenant of Inishmore, he would have known how to pronounce that. So bad decision on the part of the scriptwriter to choose a play that the actor couldn't pronounce the name correctly.
Yes, and also the play is written by the film director that also directed and wrote 3 Billboards, but also In Bruges, and I think there's a few other films that are really good, and The Banshees of Inisherin as well.
Yes.
So yes, loads of stuff there from the director of those movies, which I can't remember his name now.
McDonough. I know it's McDonough.
Yeah, it's McDonough or something, but I don't know his first name.
You're telling me a white guy can't pronounce an actual name? Isn't it like Jesus and Jesus? Come on. That doesn't happen ever.
Incredible, huh?
Incredible.
Anyway, let us get into episode 7. Kathy Friedman. The question was, what shake and side order from craft services does Simon place with his PA Terrell on the golf buggy? It is a banana protein shake and a side of real bacon. Let that side squeal. That just seems so weird to me that you'd get a side of real bacon, just bacon. I just think it should be in a butty, or it would be
in bread. Yeah.
In bread. You have to explain the butty part.
I think it'd be in a butty. It's just it doesn't.
Just in
doesn't
a
come
roll
across well
of butter.
Yeah, but as well before.
Well, that's much nicer than I was thinking, Chris.
But of course, before settling on real bacon, he does does ponder asking for a side of turkey bacon.
Yes. But they bring him both. They bring him turkey bacon
They
and
do.
real bacon and a shake, and then he decides not to have any of it because he's talked out of it by Trevor.
Yes, indeed.
The salt. It's all about that salt, man.
Yeah, yeah.
I guess
Could
so.
ruin your voice for a take, you know? Don't want
Yep.
to be doing that. Don't
No,
want to
no,
be doing that.
no.
Excellent. And on to the final episode. On episode 8, The Past is the Past. The question was, what song does Alfonso, a.k.a. Simon, pretend he sings at karaoke at the local bar to keep the guise of the new DODC trainee at the Yucca Valley facility? He says he sings Mamas Don't Let Your Babies Grow Up to Be Cowboys by the Highwaymen, which included Kenny Rogers, a very famous country and western band. Or just Western band, or just country band. I don't know what the distinction is, to be honest. But yes, it was playing in the bar when we first saw Simon sitting down with his intended target early on in the episode. So,
Yes.
and we got a very specific special request that Chris not sing the answer to this question.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
I thought country music would be right in your wheelhouse, Chris, because most male country singers sing quite similar to you.
Yeah, they waller, they wail, they cackle, they
Cackle.
They-
They're not a witch.
hey, you don't know. You don't know what their religious
Guilty.
affiliation is. But yes,
Religious
they're
affiliation witch.
Well,
yeah,
Orphan.
yeah. Coven, wicked. There you go. Yes, but shall we move on, gentlemen,
absolutely.
to announcing the winners?
Yes, in the draw are Dr. Bob, Adam Downing, Will Walton, Keith Murray, Drew Wally, Heather Sass, Philippa Florenzo, Isadora Maya, Coffee and Vodka, and Pierre Mary Bayan Ami. I hope I've got everybody's names right there.
I think it's good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So well done to you all for getting all the answers correct and going into the draw.
Yes. Do we have our virtual Tumblr ready?
We will
didn't
see.
plug it in.
We will see. Hey Google, randomly select a number between 0 and 10.
Here's a random number. 10.
10! Ha 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 ha.
Sorry, I don't understand.
And she never understands.
She never
laughing at
understands my humor.
Excellent stuff. Well, congratulations, Pierre Mary Bien Ami, on winning the Wonderman pub quiz.
Absolutely.
The Wonderman goodies will be hurtling their way towards you once we get in touch, just so that we can get the postal address.
Yes, absolutely. Congratulations, Pierre Murray.
Yes, and congratulations to everyone else who partook in the pub quiz for this series of Wonderman.
Yes. And I will say, unfortunately, even with the additional delay that we had, there are no Wonderman goodies that have been released specifically related to Wonderman. Only comics that came out prior to the show itself. But did you hear that in the comics they have got a new Simon Williams? He'll be coming into the Ultimate Universe and then hopefully moving over into the main universe.
Yeah.
Excellent stuff.
Yeah, which is
really
quite
good.
cool. Yeah.
And the Ultimate Universe is closing down.
Exactly,
Because
that's
you
why
know,
he's moving over.
yeah,
So similar
I
to
know.
when Miles Morales moved into the main Marvel Comics universe, that's what's going to be happening with the new Wonder Man.
Excellent stuff.
Which is quite cool. But I will, of course, be in contact with Pierre Murray and get some Marvel-related goodies out to you as soon as we can.
Excellent.
Great stuff. Well done again, Pierre Mary Bien Ami, for your correct answers and for being pulled from our virtual Tumblr. Good stuff.
Absolutely.
I think we should get on to our final bits of feedback for Wonderman. First up on email, we have Kathy, who says, I loved this series. Great acting and storytelling. My moment was the very end when they used the Everybody's Talking at Me song from Midnight Cowboy as they broke out of the prison. Such a wonderful song and nod to the friendships in both shows. I truly enjoy your commentaries and the insights from the comics and games you add to the film versions. Since I don't read the comics or play the games, it makes me enjoy them even more. Thanks, Kathy from St. Louis. Excellent.
Absolutely. Thanks, Kathy.
Yeah, thanks, Kathy.
Yeah.
Yes, thanks, Kathy.
Absolutely, and great catch there as well. The final song in the show being "Everybody's Talking at Me," and that was in Midnight Cowboy, which was when they first met. Trevor and Simon were watching Midnight Cowboy in the cinema. We didn't actually see it in the cinema. I haven't actually seen Midnight Cowboy. I kind of know how it ends now, of course, because of because of Wonder Man. But the final tune that's played in that movie is the same song, so something that we wouldn't have caught because we hadn't watched.
And it's
Midnight
really
Cowboy.
good that we can layer in on your enjoyment of these shows as well. So great stuff. Thanks, Kathy, for the feedback.
Yes, thanks, Kathy. Next up, we have some feedback from the one and only Coffee and Vodka with this to say. Greetings, fellow Ascending Defenders. As you said, the bar's been set high, although Daredevil and much of the rest should be up to the task. I think what I've enjoyed most about this series is the flawed nature of pretty much every character, outside of Mommy. It really lent a sense of hyper-reality to the otherwise dark, heroic fantasy wrapped in a Hollywood twist, when even the main protagonist starts out as an insufferable and develops, by the end, to be compassionate, cool, yet still imperfect. You know you've got a great creative at the helm. Gives me hope for a brand new day, and that makes my MVP Destin Daniel Cretton. Also, the soundtrack for the show, along with every other aspect, is great. No notes, just wow. 5 most wanted mandarins, understanding dads, and penetrated penitentiaries out of 5. Peace and take care, Coffee and Vodka. Thanks, Coffee and Vodka. Yes, look, this show is fantastic. I managed to watch it once more since we kind of recorded the finale, because I wanted something on in the background that's kind of comforty, foody, nice kind of one. And it really just still holds.
Yeah, absolutely.
Even as this kind of on second, third, for now, for me, it's third viewing, fourth on some parts. And like that can be seen even if you look at the Rotten Tomatoes. It's 91% on Rotten Tomatoes still to this day. Even after you would have got some of those older kind of review bombs going in as well, things like so. It's still holding at 91.
Absolutely.
After that, it is going to be probably one of the highest rated Marvel properties in a long time.
Absolutely.
And it does sing to me that okay, we know this is a spotlight, but maybe they can do something more with the spotlight. It can be part 2 of a spotlight, because the whole point of the spotlights were according to the Marvel execs and Kevin Feige, was that these are one-offs, these are kind of those moment in times, but Derek actually
not what they said. I
You
got
can
the
jump
actual
in.
quote.
Yes, you jump in, because you gave me
Yeah.
this quote before.
Yeah, the actual quote is that they don't depend on you having any knowledge outside of the show that's being presented to you, but they actually have never said that they will only be one series.
Exactly.
That they are always open to making something if it's successful, because they're business people at the end of the day.
Yep.
And the joke that was layered into the final episode of Wonder Man about, well, we would never possibly make a sequel to this, but let's have a discussion about it. If we were to make a sequel,
Yes.
what would we do? That was layered in for this purpose, in case it does land with an audience. It's been really interesting over the last month since it's been released. Lots and lots of coverage about Wonder Man. It seems like the narrative going forward is that Disney shouldn't have dropped it the way it did because it wouldn't find its audience. But the more articles I'm seeing and the more people are talking about the show, it feels like it actually did find its audience, but it just didn't have a way to have that weekly discussion that a weekly show would.
Yeah.
It has found an audience. It has been pretty successful, and as you say, Chris, the reviews of it from the public and from reviewers have been really high. So I wouldn't be surprised if we see these characters back in the future, but I hope that narrative doesn't stick, that nobody watched this. This was definitely watched, and it was heavily watched by lots and lots of people.
Well, yeah, and they've put up the episodes onto YouTube.
That's right. The first episode is up there on
Yeah,
YouTube
the first episode.
for people to dip into in case they don't want to get their Disney Plus subscription before trying it. So try it out.
Try before you buy.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, exactly.
Why not? Why not? Great stuff, Coffee Vodka. Glad you enjoyed it as much as we did as well.
Definitely.
We also got some feedback in from Drew Wally, who says, thanks for the great content and analysis. Always fun to listen along. I'm glad I finally caught up to you guys so I could try give this pub quiz a try. Drew was in contact with us saying that he was getting some of our podcasts from our earlier years and listening all the way up to now. So he's finally caught up to live podcasting almost.
Excellent
which is quite
stuff,
cool.
Drew. And glad you could get in and put your hat in the ring for the pub quiz as well.
Absolutely. Keith Murray says, again, thanks so much for all your hard work. I love the podcast and hearing everyone's thoughts on Wonder Man. I really like the series and think it's a refreshing change of pace for the MCU. I really enjoyed the lower stakes of the show and how it showed more of a slice of life for Trevor and Simon. Loved how they didn't have a massive superhero battle at the end, and the effects looked superb.
They did. Like the limited effects, even that takeoff flight at the end, like
absolutely.
it could have looked naff, and it didn't. It just looked like they figured out how to give him that kind of ionic power, but without making it look kind of, I'm going to say the words naff.
Right.
But, and I think we called it out. We talked about it in, say, the alleyway scene when they had that fight, when he first showed off his powers. It wasn't that. It wasn't naff. It wasn't just like a man coloured in purple. It kind of showed that kind of crackling energy style, and fantastic for a Disney Plus shoe.
Like, we're only in March, and this is the second show of the year that's been massively successful on a very much lower budget than its predecessor. You know, we were talking offline about Night of the Seven Kingdoms, the spin-off of Game of Thrones, which was made on a shoestring budget in comparison to House of the Dragon and Game of Thrones. It's about like 20 or 30 million an episode, I think, versus the 200 million an episode for Game of Thrones, but entirely successful. It was made in one location, smaller group of cast, and that's how we think a lot of TV shows are going to go in the future. The money that's being spent on TV, the subscriptions dropping from people, from viewers, means they're not going to be able to throw hundreds of millions of quid at TV shows now. So we think studios are going to go for things like Wonder Man, where you only have a few action scenes and much lower CGI, rather than doing something like WandaVision, which was absolutely at movie quality and movie budget quality for each episode of the series. So they can't really afford to continue doing it that way. So really interesting to see how the creatives behind these shows with lower budgets are coming up with really good ideas for those shows.
Yeah,
Agreed.
Definitely. Good stuff. Thanks, Keith. And finally, Adam Downing says, what a great show this turned out to be. Again, I went in with no knowledge of the character. When they announced the show, I was like, who? Each episode got better and better. Now, the biggest questions, will Simon continue in the MCU somehow? Then where the hell is J-Gad? I think he might pop up at some point in I think in the MCU. I think that'd be hilarious.
I think they could definitely bring in Josh Gad for a quick shot that's put on the background. You know, you can do that, just a little nod for fans of Wonder Man,
Almost
showing him reappearing.
Exactly. Almost in the same way that they did with the Captain America musical. Just even if it's just something like that. That could be just good fun to pepper him lightly throughout the MCU.
Yeah,
agreed.
It'd be cool that if, like, you know, a TV in the background has an interview with Josh Gad and it has him being interviewed about returning from his disappearance or something like that. Just a little moment in the background. They don't have to focus on it, but we'll all know why he's there. You know, something like that would be quite cool.
Yeah. In terms of Simon returning, there's a potential for Secret Wars, the film. Because that's gonna, like, and that would be not a cameo, but it would just be, he would be there. He wouldn't be a central character. And then I think the potential and the highest likelihood is a season 2 post Secret Wars, when they kind of do the MCU soft reboot that will happen at that point. Because I think that's where it's going to be called the Mutant Saga, much like this is the Multiverse Saga. We don't know where Simon Williams got his power set. We know that it just developed when he was a kid somehow. So I think they might amend his kind of retcon his origin into the MCU as him being a mutant, and then that's how you kind of fold that in and make it a season 2. And it's like Simon Williams is now a mutant on the run with his best friend Trev, as part of Damage Control going after mutants or whatever the thing. I think that's it. There is a high reason that we do not have a full set list of the next MCU TV shows after Vision Quest, and there's an agreement for season 3 of Daredevil.
Already
And that's
filming
the
at the
only
moment, yeah.
There's only 2 that we are aware of right now. So there is a lot of other ones. So there's talk of the Champions, i.e., kind of the Young Avengers. There's talk of all these other shows, but none has kind of really been firmed up or talked about. I'd say this is based on what we know here. I'd say this is the biggest likelihood.
Right. Yeah.
Because
possible,
they like you can just it's an easy one. You have that kind of, I want to say Thelma and Louise style,
Yes,
but
you
is
do,
that
yes.
those two characters on the run going through the Midwest America, kind of on a journey to get back to the West Coast, that type of thing.
Yeah, and I think anything that is probably going to be produced and directed by Destin Daniel Cretton as well, I think there is likely going to be a high chance that he will bring something of these characters into those. I mean, just simply because Trevor was there in Shang-Chi, and then he does, his TV work is then focused around Trevor with this new character
Absolutely.
of Wonder Man. So I feel like, it could be within his designs around the work he's doing for the MCU as well.
Yeah.
So there could be a good chance there. But
So confirmed here by John that we have the return of Wonder Man and Trevor Slattery in Spider-Man Brand New Day coming out in just 2 months' time, which is Destin Daniel Cretton's next
knows?
project. But interestingly, Chris, Destin Daniel Cretton was supposed to be directing the Avengers movies, which became Secret War. One of the movies was going to be directed by him. So entirely possible that there was plans for Wonder Man to turn up there. And again, the show has been very successful, so we have got the writer and showrunner Andrew Guest involved here. I'd be really interested to see if they give him another project at Marvel, given how successful this has been. So he has been a little bit outspoken about the fact that Marvel weren't sure about putting this project out. So he has had a couple of interviews and a couple of headlines about the fact that he feels Marvel
he's
were
a bit
massively
spicy.
confident in the project. Yeah, so I'm not sure whether that sits very well. I don't know how the studio runs with that, because most people are very very polite and don't say things like that in interviews. But look, he had a massively successful show about Hollywood, so he might as well be a bit spicy when being in interviews in Hollywood.
And I mean, you would hope that the people in Marvel have a little bit of a thicker skin than that.
Yeah.
I mean, they're not perfect.
Well, it's a whole new leadership. It's a whole new world in Disney at the moment with their new CEO. So, and look, he wasn't as spicy as Beau DeMayo.
Well,
Who was whole other level of spicy. So I think on the grand scheme of things, in terms of outspokenness, I think he'll be okay. I think he could argue that some of his is just more like it was misconstrued. Like he said one thing in the interview and they ran with a headline like why.
Yes.
I think
but
that's
remember,
where
Beau DeMayo was fired from his work on the updated X-Men 97 animated show, and after that he got very spicy. He wasn't spicy beforehand, other than the spicy images that were being shared, but he was fired from the show and then became massively spicy about his time on that show. So.
And still is, which is, I'm like, at a certain point, stop talking about your ex. Like, just move on, find a new love. He is still really anything Disney, anything Marvel property. He has an opinion, and you're like, oh, buddy. And I give this example, and only probably 2 listeners will understand. One of the original creators of the Xbox, the first Xbox, has been commenting on the fact that Phil Spencer, the now ex-CEO of Xbox, just left, retired, and a new CEO came in. He was giving comments on how they're sunsetting Xbox and blah blah blah. I'm like, you haven't been in this corporate industry for like 20 plus years.
But he got
at a certain point
out of it, didn't he?
Yeah, he got quite a lot, and you're like, okay, we understand your opinion. You are allowed to have an opinion, but it doesn't. At a certain point, just move on to your next big.
I think the challenge, though, of Beau DeMayo is that he created an excellent sequel to X-Men 97, and it was all on him. He was the writer. He was the creator of the sequel show.
Yes, I agree.
So he wants his plaudits for that and got fired before the show came out, and his name got removed from the credits for the second season, which he says he was heavily involved in as well. So that all of the writing in the second season came from his drafts and came from his work on the show. So he feels like a really burnt ex, and everybody else around him is being very successful out of his work, is his feeling behind it. But yes, we will probably never know the truth of exactly what happened. I think the old phrase of there's three sides to every story, his side, their side, and the truth, right? So we will
somewhere
hear,
in the middle.
Somewhere in the middle, we will. There is some truth there, right? So,
Somewhere in the middle, always
exactly. But that's it for all of our feedback on Wonder Man and for our wonderful pub quiz. Anything else going on, boys, that you want to talk about before we close out our chat about Wonder Man?
No, I just want to, any of our new listeners who've joined us for Wonder Man as our first show, we do cover Invincible, one of the best animated shows in all time. It is fantastic. If you haven't had a chance, go back now. Season 4 is just about to launch, and you can go back and listen to our coverage of the first 3 seasons in time. Watch 1 a day, maybe 2 a day. Listen to our discussions, and then join us for this upcoming one, because it is one of the best shows. It is like, forget the animation part. Even if you're I don't watch animated shows, those are for kids. This is not for kids. This is purely for you. You will love this. If you love drama, you love comedy, if you love superheroes and actions and superpowers, this is for you.
Yes, we have it on our boys feed because it matches so well with The Boys, which is coming up to its final season in April as well. So we will be covering both of those shows on our boys feed and obviously on the main feed here in TV Podcast Industries. Our listeners may have heard me let out a little laugh when Chris was saying that we cover the wonderful show Invincible because John right beside me here said, I don't cover it, I've never covered Invincible. So it's me and Chris,
who are these characters?
cover Invincible.
I just don't know.
John does watch it and does enjoy it, but he doesn't cover the podcast, right?
Yes, everyone needs a break once in the... Except Derek. Derek does get a break.
I don't get a break.
No.
And I edit everything as well, so yeah, all good. But we have had a break over the last while. What other shows have we been watching, Chris? Anything that you want to recommend outside of stuff that we cover on TV Podcast Industries?
The Pit. Absolutely fantastic show over on, I believe, HBO. And just fantastic. It is 24 hours... 24 hours, I believe, or 12 hours. It's a shift, one shift in one day in a hospital. It's Noah Wiley from ER fame, or that fantastic sci-fi show Fallen Something. Can't remember, but we will get it back to it.
Fallen Skies?
Fallen Skies, that's it. Yes, he was the kind of main guy in that.
I think he was also in a show called The Librarian as well.
Oh my god, that was so good, so nerdy,
Really?
so good.
It
was terrible, absolutely terrible.
From ER.
Right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was supposed to be, The Pit is supposed to be a spin-off to ER. The family who own the rights to ER said no. So they went, fine, we'll just do it as not ER. So it's not ER, it's The Pit. And it is just fantastic.
Excellent. I think it took me ages to work out that The Pit is Pittsburgh. That's what the reference is. I was like, why are they calling it a pit? It's an ER unit. Oh, they can't call it ER because of ER.
Yeah.
They called it The Pit in Pittsburgh, right? So
Yes.
Yeah, there you go.
I will quickly add Shrinking.
Oh, yes,
With
another Apple Plus.
another Apple
TV.
Plus. It is fantastic. It is written by Brett Goldstein. He also now stars in some of the later seasons. You've got Harrison Ford, our wonderful Indy, and Solo, and the wonderful Jason Segel. It is just fantastic. It's very Ted Lasso. It is a wholesome show, comedic, nice storylines, and it's that one of every now and again when the world is going to absolute pants, you put on a show and you're like, that was nice.
God, you must be watching it on repeat, Chris.
I am. A lot.
Just in case you happen to see some news, because the world's a nightmare out there. Yes, we don't have our Apple Plus subscription. We got rid of that after watching the excellent Pluribus Christmas. We just had it for the month there, so we should get it back at some point because I know Monarch started out the second season there as well, and that's the Godzilla show. We really enjoyed the first season.
And there's a lot of other stuff that I need to watch from Apple Plus.
There is. It's definitely a sci-fi lover's dream that service.
Like for me, at the moment, I'm delving back into Scrubs.
Oh yes, the brand new.
Oh
series.
yes,
brand new series, which is great. Really, they've done a great job of just keeping it like fresh, but also just feels like the old Scrubs. Just little bit older.
Yes, absolutely. Yeah, 3 episodes in to that. You know what I completely forgot about what I loved about Scrubs, which is back in this series, it's all of the imaginations that are going on in JD's head when he's describing situations. So they are completely outlandish still and hilarious. This week they had a great wrestling theme, which was good fun.
So yes, I guess as a medical thing, I've been watching Scrubs. You've mentioned about the Knights of the Seven Kingdoms. That's been really,
Fantastic, wasn't it?
really good.
Yeah, half-hour shows every week. Great fun, really good characters, brilliant
good
setting.
bit of humour, but also quite bloody in places. But really good. And then just in the same vein as Wonder Man, we sort of gotten to the end of the current set of series of Hacks.
All 4 seasons, yeah.
Absolutely burned through that, which was excellent.
It was so good fun, wasn't it? Yeah. Yeah, and we are 9 episodes into the other big famous show about Hollywood.
Yes, the studio.
Which is The Studio, yeah. We have one more episode of that left to watch as well. So that's been really good fun to watch.
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah, so lots and lots of stuff keeping us entertained over the last couple of weeks. I know our wonderful fellow defenders have been sharing their thoughts on some of the shows that they've been watching as well. We'd love to hear if there's any shows that you're looking forward to this year, or what are you watching that we're not covering on TV Podcast Industries. Of course, if you want to get in contact with us at any time, you can email us to feedback@tvpodcastindustries.com. Pop on over to our Facebook group at facebook.com/group/tvpodcastindustries, or go on over to our Discord, which you can access at the link that will be in our show notes right here. So we want to hear from you on your thoughts of all of the shows and of all the things that we're not covering as well.
Yes, absolutely. But stay subscribed, fellow defenders, to the podcast with our upcoming slate. It'd be great to have you on board as we move into Invincible, Daredevil, and of course the final season of The Boys.
Yes, and we haven't mentioned Mole Shadowhunter because I'm still not sure how we're going to fit that into our schedule. Because that's on at exactly the same time as the 3 shows. There is a week where all 4 of those shows release a new episode on the same day.
It's crazy April.
Yeah, people are wondering why we took a break for 3 weeks. Yeah. That's why we took a break for 3 weeks.
People are like, March Madness? No. Yeah. March Madness. Anemic April.
Crazy April.
There you go. So yes, we will cover as much as we possibly can, and we're looking forward to chatting about all those shows. There's lots of great stuff coming up. If you do want to see the schedule, pop on over to the website at tvpodcastindustries.com/2026, I think I've called it. But if you just go to the main website, there's a button there that has the full schedule and a calendar of all of the episodes as they're being released. That's the plan anyway.
Absolutely. Yes. And of course, remember you can support us through Patreon and Buy Me a Coffee. Just search TV Podcast Industries for those. But of course, you can support us by subscribing to the podcast and sharing with your friends, family, grandparents, you name it, because sharing the podcast is, of course,
sharing the love.
Absolutely. But thank you so much for joining us. We will talk to you again very soon with lots and lots of TV shows. And thanks for joining us for All the Wonder Man.
Yes, thank you so much. I'll speak to you in a couple of weeks. No, this week. No, next week. No! Yeah, bye.
Excellent stuff. Thanks, fellow defenders. Until next time, keep watching, keep listening, and of course, keep defending.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye.